This is a live recollection of what happened at the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival by the girl that has been pictured and video recorded on stage shouting at the cameraman that something is going on. This is very emotional and could be potentially triggering to a lot of you, so be aware. Today is November 5th, 2021. It is a Friday. Who I am in this story is not important. Rather, it is important the things I have now witnessed. Astroworld, Houston, Texas. Travis Scott is the only one performing. I don't know how many people were at the festival, but I do know that every single person was at that stage. My friend and I wanted to get as close to the stage as close as we could possibly get. We were not able to get very close, but we did end up on the side, near the walkway in the middle. Surrounding us were chest-high metal gates, barriers. We stood there for 2 hours, as did every other person. Every gap was filled. Where your feet were placed was where you were staying. Energy rose as the time neared, beginning the show. Within the first 30 seconds of the first song beginning, people began to drown in other people. There were so many people, tall men, women. Women and men were the only thing they could see was the back of the person in front of them. The rush of people became tighter and tighter. Breathing became something only a few were capable of. The rest were crushed or unable to breathe in the thick, hot air. My friend began to gasp for breath and told me we needed to get out. We tried, but there was nowhere to go. The shoving got harder and harder. If someone's arms had been up, it was no longer possible to put it down. So people began to choke one another as the mass swayed. It became more and more violent. We began to scream for help. We could see security just a few people over in the walkway in the middle. It got tighter, impossible to breathe as our lungs were compressed between the bodies of those surrounding us. More people began to scream for help. The music continued. Hundreds of people ripped their vocal cords apart, screaming for help, but we were not heard. There was nowhere to go. My friend was trapped between people on every side of her, and she was desperately trying to move towards the rail. It was of no use. The screaming intensified as more people realized they could not breathe. We begged security to help us, for the performer to see us and know something was wrong. None of that came. We continued to drown more and more. One person fell or collapsed. It doesn't matter how it started. Once one fell, a hole opened up in the ground. It was like watching a Jenga tower topple over. Person after person were sucked down. You could not guess from which direction the shove of hundreds of people would come next. You are at the mercy of the wave. I watched my friend be dragged away from me and lost sight of her. I began to realize in that moment there was a way to die that not many people know about, being trampled to death. I'm only going to read that much, but if you want to see the entire post, you can go to @SiennaFaith, SeannaFaith on Instagram, and that is where the whole post is. And she is the girl that is in the pictures and the video shouting at the cameraman, "There's something going on over there." This is genuinely heartbreaking. My heart goes out to everybody whose lives were lost and everybody affected by this, and shame on those event organizers.